Hey there. When I was doing my videos on James Joyce's Ulysses, I did a video similar to this in which I looked at different editions of Ulysses and I said which one you may want to check out. And I kind of opted in that book for an older edition, not the newer, more revamped, revised. The newer version's much heavily revised of Ulysses, and I wasn't as fond of that edition. But with Finnegan's Wake, I don't claim to be an expert by any means. I'm exploring the book as much as anyone. But I think I am primarily going for the newer version of Finnegan's Wake, which is, it's not heavily revised. It has a lot of changes, about 9,000, which sounds like a lot, but, it's a big book, so it's not that much. And this happened in 2012. And this is the edition, or at least one of the versions. There may be other publications, but this one that came out in 2012 is the has an introduction by Finn Fordham, who I know he has a book on Finnegan's Wake that I think I may have a digital copy, but I haven't read it yet. But it looks good, especially I read the introduction that he wrote to this, and that is kind of one of the reasons that has got me leaning towards this revised edition that came out in 2012. So let's see. Supposedly they revised it by looking at about 20,000 pages of Joyce's notes. And I think the key difference between Ulysses and Finnegan's Wake in terms of how reliable the text is that when Joyce was doing Finnegan's Wake, his eyesight was considerably worse. And it was undergoing constant operations, and he could barely see. He needed help just to get his writings down, like to either people to type it for him and transcribe his notes, or to him to dictate to them. So there's a lot of more problems that didn't exist quite to that extent when he was doing Ulysses. So that's kind of one of the reasons that I'm leaning towards this new edition. But also, the introduction makes a pretty good case from it. But I have to say this introduction was also very good. I think this is one of I've mentioned a few other things like Robert Anton Wilson's essays in Coincidence and other things along the way that could help you. And I think this introduction by Finn Fordham is really good. It does really make me want to check out his book. It covers a lot of the main topics, but it also, I don't know if he did this, but after the introduction, he talks about the characters using, the symbols. And I still have another book or two that I want to look at relating to that I haven't quite finished. But it's a very categorical way of describing the characters. And obviously this is a book in which characters are more fluid than just about any other book that you can imagine. So they're real generalities, but I think it is helpful to at least have those characters to start with in your mind, even if you have to discard them or rearrange them as you go along and find a deeper understanding of the book. But after the introduction, there's a plot synopsis. Where is it? Let's get to the end of it. Yeah, chapter by. I don't know if this is by Finn Fordham or one of the other editors or what, but it's a very concise, like 10-page outline of the book, and I've kind of been using this and a few other things that I'm going to talk about in another video to help me read. But basically, I decided to start right now reading again. I kind of put it aside, but I came back and I kind of jumped in at the beginning of book 2, the Night Games Child's Play chapter, and kind of what I read this summary, which is pretty short, just a couple paragraphs, and the method that I've been reading has been to basically get as intoxicated as possible. And then read it out loud as slowly as possible, and just take my time with it and try to make it as dramatic as possible. I think I'm going to record it too. I think I've decided that would help me a lot. I think So I will probably record it, put it on my Patreon or something at this point, and then when I finish it, I'll put it all on my YouTube. But if you really want to see it right away, go to my Patreon and probably sign up just even as a free member. I tend to put most of my stuff up for free, and eventually I put it or release it all eventually. So, but I recommend you do that too. Like read it slow and out loud. It is helpful. And aside from this, I also have the Joseph Campbell summaries, which I'll probably take a look at when I finish that chapter, or book 2, chapter 1. I've also been reading through the prescriptive guide of Finnegan's Wake, this 1,768 page document that I put on our Internet Archive. It's down in the links, I think. It's very helpful, but I haven't gotten I'm only 18 pages into it, but I do find it helpful. But they also recommend the newer edition. So I think all those things combined, and Ford whatever his name is, he has a very Finnegan's Waking name, like Ford Finham. But his argument that the newer version is a little more reputable at this point. I would love to hear any arguments against it. So if you have any strong case that you want to make for the older editions, let me know, because maybe I should check out certain passages there. Who knows? I think once I do know the book better, I will eventually go back to that earlier edition just to see what has changed and see if I can even notice anything. But from this point on, I'm going to go with the newer edition, and you may want to too. And stick around if you haven't subscribed to my channel, because I always say that every video that I'm going to get back more into Finnegan's Wake, but this time I mean it. I'll probably do another video I shouldn't say that. I usually jinxes it when I say I'm going to do another video soon, but I do have another video idea that I wanted to touch on and try some things with. So I hope to do that within the next few weeks, but we'll see. So keep Finnegan's waking, and we'll march on into the book together and continue our exploration.